How are you today? I hope everybody is doing well. Guys, inflation. I feel like that's all we hear about recently. And, with our president telling us that we are not in a recession, I tend to disagree, but that's my opinion. Anyway, I'm just going to tell you, I've had a few questions. This seems to be a question that I get a lot, even from sellers, buyers, all of that. And I'm currently feeling it in my, with my first time home buyers and with my home buyers all together. Okay. So that's why I wanted to kind of go over this topic today. But guys, hey, if you have any questions about any of this, the best place to reach me is on my free Facebook page, my free Facebook group. All you have to do is grab the link in the description of the video that you're watching and pop on over there and get into that. And then you can ask me some questions, that kind of thing. All right, guys. Okay, so let's talk about this. First time home buyers feeling squeezed out of the market. I'm seeing this more and more as time goes on. And it's no one's fault. I'm not saying it's anyone's fault. I'm just saying that the buying power that first-time home buyers had 4 years ago is way different than the buying power that they have right now. Okay? So this is creating a little bit of an issue with the housing market. So since supply and demand since supply is still so low, okay, and demand is still high, sellers are getting top dollar for their stuff. And that's the way it should be, guys. I'm not discounting any of that. That's the way it should be. Okay. But as inflation goes up, listings are not increasing like they should. Okay. So one of the problems that is happening, and I've heard this a lot, even in my little area here, is people who had thought about potentially selling this year, or, maybe they've hit that point where they've been in their first home for 7 years and they wanted to upgrade. They are making do with what they have because they're unsure. They don't know where this economy is going and they don't want to be house poor. Okay. So they're sitting tight just to kind of see where all of this is going. And, honestly, I don't blame them. Okay. I don't blame them. I would probably, if I was in that situation, I would probably do exactly the same thing. It's just sit tight until you can kind of ride out the storm. If they're not needing to get into that new house, if it's just a want, then yeah, go ahead and just sit tight on it. So, but what that's creating is a lot of these first time homes that people bought 7 to 10 years ago that they're looking to move on to something else. They're not coming back on the market as quickly as they should be. Okay. As interest rates go up, first time home buyers spending cap goes down. Okay. So here's what we're seeing right now is their spending is going down because they have to pay more in interest. So maybe, and I don't know exact numbers here, guys. I'm just throwing out numbers just so you kind of have an idea. So maybe 3 years ago, if you would have been approved for 160 at the same level that you're at now you may be only approved for 140. Okay. But the problem that with inventory being so low, sellers are asking top dollar and getting it. So think about it this way. 3-4 years ago, a house that it was $125,000 is now being sold for $150,000. Okay. So there's not a lot of houses in that 125 to 140 range, 145 range. And there's not a lot of houses in the $150,000 to $200,000 range either. Okay. Because what we used to see as a $125,000 house a few years ago is now a $150,000 house. And these are the people that are sitting tight. These are the people that are like, I don't want to be house poor. Okay. I don't want to be house poor. I don't want to get into that. I don't want to sell right now. I'm just going to hang tight. I've got a good interest rate on my house because they probably bought when the interest rates were low. I have a good interest rate on my house, and I know I can handle the payment. Okay. So they're not putting things up on the market as quickly as what used to happen back in the days. Okay. So these are all things to consider as a first time home buyer. I'm not trying to discourage anyone, but my point being is that it just may take you a little more cash, bringing cash to the table to make this dream come true for you. So you may need to look at selling things, seeing how you can downsize your life and get money and get it put away so you have a little bit more buying power. Okay? Guys, and that is what I'm personally seeing in the market. I know I have clients who we just keep looking because they're not finding anything in their price range. Okay. So it's just the way it is. All right, guys. Okay, guys, I hope you have an amazing day. I'm going to pop out of here. I don't want to make this too long. I will see you guys all tomorrow.